Hello everyone, you're welcome back here to Canning Farms. I'm Gavin, and in today's video something actually completely different, well for me anyway. We have a bit of kit coming actually to have a go on, to have a review of. It's going to be a GILTRAP G2 bale unwinder. So it's coming up from Duncan Agri, so we'll talk a bit more about it when it arrives, how it got here and why it might suit someone like me or someone like a small farmer or even a bigger farmer. So we'll have a look at that when it arrives. So this is the machine here. So this is a GILTRAP G2 bale unwinder or bale feeder. You might have seen plenty of these around, but this is slightly different. GILTRAP are a New Zealand company. They wouldn't be well known here in Ireland, but if you're into tillage or arable, you might have heard the name Duncan. They sell drills. So Duncan, the parent company of that, is now GILTRAP. So the way it came to be here was that Tom Tierney of Duncan Ag, he's the representative here. He sells drills, so like I said, maybe the arable or tillage men might know him. He got in touch and said, would I be interested in trying this out? So look, I said that might be something that I could use here on the farm, or that people who watch here might be interested in. So I said drop it up. So I have it here for a week or 10 days, and I'm just going to put it through its paces and see what it's like. Well, some of the features here that are different to other bale feeders, because there's plenty of them on the market, but this thing has a few things that's just slightly different. So the first one is that you can actually load from both sides, and you can hook up from both sides. So both sides have a mirror image of each other. These sprockets here, they're a lot more heavy duty than your normal parts that usually wear, and pins that usually wear on them. As well as that, this walking floor in here, obviously stainless steel, doesn't corrode, but these teeth here as well, they're actually part of this, and this whole thing is actually bent rather than welded. You see a lot of them here, they have welds across here, and what happens then is the water gets in there. Even though they're galvanized, that's where the weak point is on them, whereas this is actually pressed. Another feature here on this is the heavy duty pins in the chain, because they're one thing that can go on them, but these things here are very heavy duty. Another thing I like about it basically is it's two implements in one. So when you pull, this is just a string here that goes down to this pin here, and when you pull that, it unlocks, say, this section here from the bed, and basically what you have then is you have two spikes which are very heavy duty. Again, I'll show you them in a few minutes. That allows you to use your bale spike as normal or whatever and load onto here. I actually thought that this was going to be way too heavy for my tractor, because my tractor now is a very lightly built thing, but actually it isn't. Have the bale, I put one bale in with it this morning just to have a go with it, and very easy on the tractor, no weight at all. If you can lift a bale, you can lift this as well with it. So one of the main uses for this in New Zealand, as they are a New Zealand company, would be outwintering cattle. They outwinter a lot of cattle over there. They wouldn't have slatted sheds like here. But then that got me thinking there that if you are outwintering cattle, say in rapeseed or something like that, that you're grazing, and rather than dotting bales around the place and having glow around them, that you can go out with this along a fence line and just drop it off, and the cattle then are getting fresh silage every day. Another reason why I was interested in something like this was just for the sheer ergonomics of it, like, you know, making things life easier for yourself. We were just thinking about it last night, and I was working it out like that. I put in a bale basically in front of the cattle, and they can get out for the first day. Then after that, then I have to start forking in silage. So if you think about it, a bale of silage probably about 700 kilos if the cattle can get even half of that. So look, you're probably forking in 350 kilos over a day and a half. That's whatever, 175 kilos that you're per pen that you're doing. So something like this, not only is it a time saver, but like my back does be aching sometimes, and it does be broken. I'd be wondering why. And then when we sat down and worked it out last night, like the actual amount of heavy lifting that you're doing, something like this could be a godsend. So the way it hooks onto the tractor is very, very simple. We just have your two spools, two pipes, pins, just hooks up normal like a normal bale spike, and then you have your string there that goes into the cab for unlocking this section here. Again, that's one thing I was worried about. I'd never used anything like this. I don't really have a lot of machinery or anything, and I was thinking to myself, sure, every time you put on it, try to go load a bale, you have to unhook pipes and everything, but you don't actually. The whole of this section pops off for you to go and load your bale then. So that's enough of me talking now. So what we're going to do is just load a bale on. I'll show you how it works, and then I might put in the second one on. We'll go out to the field then and feed some cattle that have out wintered. I have a few bulls and a Dexter cow and calf out there, so what we'll do is just go out there and I might get a few drone shots of it out there. So now that's the bed and the spike separated. So as you can see, again, very heavy duty. Sometimes what you see with these tines here is that they're only like the tines of like a shear grab or something like that. They're a bit lightweight to be going in and holding on the weight of the platform there. So your far one is longer than this one. So basically that means you only have to look out for one prong when you're reversing in. It's like a guide one. And then have these squares at the end with little tapered ends that again help you when you're backing in. So just when you're feeding bales, everyone knows, like if you have them up on their ends, that you have this bit that comes out here and gets wet and mucky and just not nice for the cattle, so you end up having to throw a bit of away. So what I'm hoping this can do is can tidy up the feed face a lot more, and that's one thing I'm interested in seeing what. So now there you go, a bale out in probably under a minute and a half, rather than spending hours at it trying to fork it in, an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening. And like that, that's a bale in there fresh to them, and like that there's barely any past there, whereas if I had a bale in here, the outsides of the bale would be falling out there into where it's a bit wet and mucky. I actually can't get over that. That's a serious job, so it is. Now fair enough, you'd have to be maybe putting in a bale every 1 or 2 days rather than maybe the 3 that I'm getting it, but sure, that's no work, no manual labour really, so I have to say I'm awful impressed with that now, seriously impressed. And as you can see here, like, it leaves virtually nothing behind, like literally about what, a few wisps of silage, that's all. Like, it gets every bit off it and cleans it. So yeah, very, very, very impressed with that now. that is an extremely handy bit of kit, especially for here, like where I was saying in the video there the other day, where it was what I was on to do in 2023 about expanding this. Like a machine like that, you just reverse up, or if you're in a passageway or something, reverse up, you can feed both sides with it. Serious bit of kit, like that's awful impressive. This bale unwinder is great for this job. If you're out wintering cattle, I have a few bulls here and a Dexter cow and calf there, just in this group, but as you can see, like, there's no mess. Instead of having it around a ring feeder and having a big ball of mess around a ring feeder, you can just spread it out nice and even. Another thing about these New Zealand companies is that obviously New Zealand has a very similar climate and same sort of agricultural system as we have over here in Ireland, so their equipment is pretty much going to work over here 100% of the time. Like, you know, it's same silage, same weather conditions, same sort of hilly conditions in some of the places. So New Zealand gear seems to be very good over here, very suitable to over here, the farming. But I just want to say a big thanks to Tom Tierney there from Duncan Ag. He got in touch. I told him I'm not getting paid for doing this. I don't own this machine, I just have this for the week. I was up front with him. I said, look, I'm not in position to buy at the minute, but in fairness to him, he says, take it anyway. He said, if it suits you down the line, he says, we'll have one for you. He said, take it for the week, try it out, try different things, see what works and what doesn't work, give us feedback. So again, a big thanks to Tom Tierney there, Duncan Ag, and again to GILTRAP as well, for giving the go ahead for this. It's a big thing for me, like doing things like this. I wouldn't have a chance to even use something like this. I know it's only a small thing, but to me this is a big thing. I'm not a person here who has big machinery. I'm just a small farm, same as everyone else who probably watches this. So to have a chance to use something like this, it's a big thing, and to show maybe the time saving and the manual handling side of things and the labour saving and everything. So I just, again, thanks very much, and we'll leave it there. So I'll leave the contact details for Tom there of Duncan Ag and his email address and that down in the description below if you wanted to learn any more about GILTRAP. Go onto their website. GILTRAP do other things as well. They make diet feeders, they make drills, feeding equipment as well. Then, like I said, Duncan is their sister company, so again they make drills maybe for more arable side of things, but do give them a look up, and they might have something there that suits you. So like that, GILTRAP and Duncan Agri. Thanks very much, and we'll talk to you in the next one.